This video is going to show you some of the tools that are available as part of the Connect Master Principles of Economics digital product. We're going to start in with looking at what content is covered as part of this. So we can jump into the ebook here and have a look at the range of different content that is available within Connect Master. As we can see in here, there are multiple resources covering different areas of a Principles of Economics course, and these are all driven by a learning concept based learning approach. So this allows us to draw resources from multiple areas and create a learning outcome based set of resources for students to go and work through. This allows us to cover multiple areas in a single place and cover all the essentials that students will need to succeed on your economics course. When we want students to go and utilize this set of resources, we don't want them just to be passively reading. So we have enabled adaptive assignments to be delivered as part of the Connect Master experience. What this adaptive learning means is that students are given concepts to first evaluate, and if they're unable to understand them or they're not confident in their knowledge, it'll allow us to push them into resources that adapt to them and are specifically tailored to help that individual student. So let's take a quick look at how that works. So inside my adaptive assignment on institutions in the marketplace, I've selected 17 key concepts from that list, and that's going to take the students an estimated 31 minutes. They can start in with the questions for them to first evaluate where their levels of understanding is and are. There is a video that's loaded into here that they can go through to watch, and then they can expand each of these key items into here and then go and answer questions as they go through. If students feel like they don't understand, they've always got a route back into these resources to make sure that they are supported and that they're meeting the learning objectives that you have set for them. This allows us to create concept level based resources rather than expecting students to do a large amount of reading before they go and work through these resources. Once the students have reviewed those resources, they're then able to come into the questions, to answer them, and if they get something incorrect, they're immediately given feedback and they're able to go and view the worked resources, the concept resources, worked examples, topic overviews, and any other resources that might be available for them to understand this topic. It creates a personalized track of learning for each student and makes sure that there are no gaps in their knowledge and they're all achieving the same basic level of understanding. Setting the work for those adaptive learning assignments is as simple as selecting the topic area you want to look into, selecting the specific learning objectives, and selecting an amount of time you would like the students to go through. We won't touch on that in this video, but it's a very simple process to go through. The second item that we're going to look at within here are the application-based activities. These are mini simulations designed to allow the students to apply their theoretical knowledge into a real-world scenario and get feedback on it as they go and work through. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Within the list of application-based activities, we have 45 possibilities, and we can use a keyword search or look by topic to find different resources and different simulations that we can put students into. So we could look at something on specialization and trade, we get a description and an overview, and let's have a look at what that looks like from a student perspective. Within the application-based activities, we will always have the plot and the scenario over on the left-hand side, and data with which we need to make decisions on the right. So as the students go through and progress, they'll be asked questions as they work through, making sure that they understand the core concepts, and as they make decisions, their information will update on the right-hand side, and they'll be able to go and work through and understand how the theories that they're learning would apply in a real-world scenario. It allows for complex decision-making, whilst all the time giving the students individual support and feedback about the decisions that they're making and how they will impact the scenario that they are in. Also, built into Connect Master is an extensive question bank of resources. This allows us to set multiple types of question on the different learning objectives and subject areas as we go through, including multiple choice, video-based questions, and lots of different question types in order to make sure that we're testing our students effectively. Here I've set up a quiz on the institutions in the marketplace, just with 2 questions to give you an example. But here we've got some simple multiple choice questions with explanations, marking and feedback all built in. This allows you to design something specific for your students to go and work through and make sure they're hitting all the learning objectives you need them to study. There are also a range of video-based questions within the question bank, allowing you to set more blended learning activities for students to go and work through. For example, this 5-minute video about understanding markets and subsequent questions that relate back to that video. So it allows you to create media-rich activities for students to go and do, and making sure that they're always kept engaged with different forms of media, questions, and content. Creating these resources is as simple as going into the question bank, selecting the area of resource that you want to cover. So for this example, we'll choose institutions in the marketplace, and then choosing from the variety of different activities. We've got exercises for students to do, English videos for them to go and watch, and test bank questions for them to use as well, allowing you to create that complex mix of resources for the students to go and work through. It's as simple as clicking them and adding them, or you can use the filters on the left hand side in order to make sure that you're hitting the learning objectives and the topics that you need to. And finally, within economics, we know that maths ability is something that can cause difficulties and challenges for students if they're not up to the level that they need to be at. Math skills are often something that students feel very unconfident about, and they're not particularly good at voicing those concerns and getting the support that they need. Thankfully, in Connect Master, we're able to use adaptive learning that is dedicated towards maths for economics. So let's take a look at what that looks like. As we can see here, this is a longer resource as I've selected more concepts to ensure that the students are capable of working through. But this again is going to start them at a basic level and quickly accelerate them through. So students who have a good maths ability will be able to run through this very quickly, but students who might need a little bit more support are able to take advantage of the adaptive resources that are within Connect. So within this, I'm being set up and being told I need to learn about interpreting a graph. I get a what am I doing, why is it important, and then resources that are designed to test the student's knowledge early on. And if they don't understand, it's then able to push them back in to the resources to help them understand about what this graph is, what the topic overview is, and any other resources designed to help them. This enables us to have a very light touch of math support for students, but making sure that we know that as the students are working through, they have all the math support that they need in order to understand the different activities and math requirements that they will have as part of this course. So that's a very quick overview of the different features that are within Connect Master Principles of Economics. It's a very valuable addition to your course and can really help in engaging students at the level that they need, having adaptive resources that will support them all the way through, and making sure that you're able to accurately capture and measure their progress as they go through your course.